What's up, guys? It is Rob, and I am back with a brand new tag video. Actually haven't done a tag video in a long time, but my good buddy Sean Erschen over there at the Horror Corner tagged me in the Facehugger Alien franchise tag. Pretty cool. As you can see, I am a huge Alien fan. I don't like all the movies in the franchise, but I just love the story and the lore of the xenomorphs and some of the characters. So Alien, and Aliens have really inspired me when it comes to sci-fi horror. So anyway, I just want to thank Sean Erschen for tagging me. Definitely go subscribe to Sean if you have not yet already. I'll put his channel in the description. So there are 13 questions in all, and at the end of this video I'm going to be tagging some people to participate in this. Alright, so question number 1 is your favorite Ripley moment in the franchise. Well, that has to go to Aliens. And that is the "get away from her, you bitch" scene, where she is in that, I like to call it the Exo Squad suit, and she is going against the Queen alien. That is my favorite Ripley moment, and I know a lot of people would agree. I do agree with the protocol scene that Sean mentioned. I do like that scene as well. But I just think this scene is so iconic, and when it comes to Ripley, she's just best known for that. People who say that there were no female superstars or female like heroes back then, like they complain about that now that women don't, get these leading roles, then those people haven't watched Alien or Aliens, okay? So I just wish people would shut up about that. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Ripley is a badass, okay? So that is my answer for question number 1. Question number 2 is favorite Sigourney Weaver performance in the franchise. For me, that would have to go to the original classic Alien. There's not as much action in this movie because this is more sci-fi horror, not really sci-fi horror action like the second one. But I just love her performance in this. She's very calm, and she's a leader. She knows what to do. So, yeah, I think her best performance is in the first movie. Question number 3 is favorite creature design in the franchise. Again, I would have to go with Aliens, and I love the Alien Queen design. The Alien Queen is, like, when I first saw it on screen, I was like, my jaw dropped. I'm like, oh my god. Like, this giant alien, I mean, it was a spectacular sight on what they did. And the animatronics is what really made these movies good, with especially the first 2 movies. Of course, Alien 3, we all know that they used other shots, like deleted shots. There was really no new what I want to say, creature effects, but what they did with the Alien Queen was fantastic. And the xenomorphs looked great too. So, all right, so question number 4 is Alien versus Aliens. What do you prefer? For me, I prefer the original. I kind of compare these to the Terminator movies because Terminator 1 is like a sci-fi horror film with a lot of suspense. The second Terminator is like a sci-fi action film. And that is kind of what I think of this movie to be, a sci-fi horror film, and then Aliens to be a sci-fi horror action film. So Yeah, for me, this movie is a lot scarier. There's only one alien instead of a ton of aliens running around. Not that a ton of aliens isn't scary. I'm just saying this movie was more contained, I think. So, yeah, for me, it's the classic Alien, for sure. Number 5. Thoughts on Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Oh boy, where do I begin? Well, let's begin with Alien 3. First of all, this movie sucks. Right from the beginning, you have Ripley who crashes on this, like, prison planet, and, which, you know, they're all men, and suddenly, she's the sole survivor of the crash. Newt is dead. Hicks is dead. It's like they completely just said, screw them. I mean, it's not like Newt and Hicks were... It's not like they weren't main characters. They were main characters. And then now it's like they're just gone. That really pissed me off, like, honestly. I didn't care for Ripley's character in this with her, you know, bald head, and I just... You know, I know Sean said the same thing. I did not care for it. The ending was kind of weird, too. It was crazy, actually, you know, because she has the alien inside of her. But yeah, they used other footage of the creature, and the creature looked ridiculous. Yeah, Alien 3 was a big letdown. Alien Resurrection, I think the attempt was there. I just think it fell flat. Would I rather watch Alien Resurrection than Alien 3? Yes. But that's not saying much. I don't like how Ripley came back as a clone. That was pretty much the only way to bring her back because she died in Alien 3. Winona Ryder, you know, she plays an android. I thought that was okay. The creature designs were alright, and the gore was, you know, pretty good. And I do like the scene where the alien gets sucked out that hole at the end. That was a pretty cool scene. But other than that, there's really not much I can say about this film. I wouldn't call it a good film. I just say it's okay, but at best. But anyway, yeah, those are my thoughts on Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Number 6 is your thoughts on Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Prometheus, I thought was an awesome movie. I think it's underrated. Actually, a lot of people were pissed off that it didn't connect more to the Alien movies. But the fact is that this takes place way before Alien, and I love the whole engineer. You can see on the front there, the engineer. I love the whole engineer story. You know, we see him in Alien where he's in his cryo suit, and he's with that big cannon gun. My only complaint is that they didn't do enough with the engineers. I wanted to know more about the whole creating life thing. I wanted to know more about the engineers and how they perceived life. I think, you know, a lot of people were mad because there was no xenomorphs in this movie. I think it was fine. I don't think we need xenomorphs all the time. I mean, then people say, well, it's not an alien movie if you don't have xenomorphs. I mean, that's not completely true. I think the characters were really good in this movie. I love Shaw. She is a great character. The visuals in this movie are amazing. I freaking love the visuals. This was a good attempt. I think this movie is very interesting and just very fun. It's very good to look at. Alien Covenant, on the other hand, I do not like this movie. I do not like how the xenomorphs were pretty much created by David, the android. To me, that makes no sense. That's where this came from. It's like it came down to this. It was because of him. You know, this shot right here is from the trailer. You know, they showed a xenomorph in this movie. Like, hey, come and see Alien Covenant because now we got xenomorphs. You know, everyone was mad that Prometheus didn't. Now we have xenomorphs. It's like, I'm sorry, that did not sell me with this movie. I just think it's... And how they treated Shaw's character in this, no. That was, you know, this movie was garbage, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But, you know, whatever. Anyway, yeah, so that's my thoughts on number 6. Number 7, what would you like to see in the next Alien film, or should they just leave it alone? For me, I want them to make a sequel after Aliens, where they don't you know, kill off Newton Hicks. Here's the thing. They could make it all these years later, right? And even if they have to get different actors and actresses, that's fine. But I would like to see a story that takes place all these years later, and, you know, I just want to see, like, what happens. And disregard Alien 3, disregard Alien Resurrection, just disregard everything. They're doing that a lot with horror movies now. I mean, look at Halloween, look at Leprechaun Returns. They're doing that. So I would like to see a direct sequel to Aliens. And like I said, it could be like a ton of years later, but it still takes place after this movie. So that's what I want to see. Otherwise, just leave it alone. I mean, the Terminator franchise has run its course, so maybe this has too. I don't know. All right, so number 8 is favorite action scene in the franchise. Again, for me, it's going to be Aliens, where Ripley is confronting the alien queen, and she has the flamethrower, and she's basically burning all the eggs. And then the xenomorphs come after her, and she destroys them all by herself. All by herself. She's in the lair. The eggs are starting to open. She's burning them. All these xenomorphs are coming from everywhere. And Newt's telling her to turn around and shoot this. And she has a machine gun. She's just freaking... Oh, my God. She's a badass. She's taking them on all by herself. And the queen, you could tell she's worried. But this was, you know, this was at the time when before she gets into that suit. That's my favorite action scene. That is an awesome scene. I mean, honestly. All right, so number 9 is favorite death scene in the franchise. I've talked about this a ton when I talk about this movie. The original Alien, where John Hurt has the chest buster. You know, he's sitting there eating dinner, and then all of a sudden he starts to go into this like spasm, and then the alien bursts out of his chest, and it's just, that's a disturbing scene. I still think today it holds up so well that I have to, like, I don't really look away, but it is so disturbing to watch. It really, they did a good job with the effects. I mean, it is so real when it comes out of his stomach. It just, it's crazy. That scene, yeah, still gets me. It's one of the best. So that is my favorite death scene. Number 10 is favorite character outside of Ripley in the franchise. Well, for me, no question, that is Shaw. What I like about her is I feel like she is like the new Ripley, even though this came before that. Shaw is very experienced. She's smart. I mean, the scene where she knows she's pregnant with an alien, she goes into that pod and she basically has surgery while she's still, you know, like coherent. And, you know, the laser comes down, splits her stomach open, and she's crying in pain, and it basically takes the alien out, and she has to staple herself back together. She's a badass. That's why I don't like how they treated her in Alien Covenant. Treated her character. I love Shaw. Shaw is awesome. Okay, so that was number 10. Number 11. Do you enjoy the AVP movies? Basically, Alien versus Predator. Well, yes. I am probably one of the few people on this planet who actually really like the first AVP. I think it was well done for what we have. It could have been better. Yes, it could have been better. But for what we have, I thought it was very interesting. I like the whole pyramid underground, underneath the ice. I like that story, how the aliens and the predators used to battle each other years and years ago. And the predators come down because they know the place has been broken into, kind of. And they come down to look for their weapons. When they run into the humans, and there's this big battle. The humans are pretty much caught in the middle. I don't know. I really liked it for what it was. Like I said, I think it's, you know, Paul W. Anderson, who did the Mortal Kombat films and Resident Evil. You could kind of tell that. I think we could have had a different director, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is. I think it's a good attempt. Now, AVP Requiem, I think, is garbage. This movie is dark. It's too dark. I know Alien 3 was kind of dark. Some of the Alien movies are dark, but this is the darkest because you can't see what the hell's going on, especially when the Predator's in the sewers. You can't tell. You don't know what's happening. So, yeah, this movie was crap, and that's pretty much all I have to say. I'm sure a lot of people will agree. Number 12, what is the scariest scene in the franchise? For me, that goes to Aliens, and it is basically Hudson's last stand. They're all in that room. The whole crew is in the room, and on the monitor it shows all the aliens coming, and they're getting closer, and he keeps saying they're closer, and they're waiting, they're pointing at the door. All of a sudden Ripley realizes they're not coming through the door, they're going to be coming above them in the ceiling. So they take out the ceiling panel, they look in the ceiling, and here they come. They're crawling on the ceiling, getting to them. That's how they're coming at him. They're coming at him. They're surrounding him. That whole scene is freaking scary. Knowing that they're coming at you and surrounding you, all those aliens, you're screwed. You know, you're pretty much screwed at that point. Again, this shows how badass Ripley is. She pretty much figured that they're not going to come through the door. They're coming through the ceiling. And that's just why I love her character. She's the one who figured it out. So, great scene. It's got good action and good scary moments. Number 13, this is the last question. What is the worst film in the franchise? That is easy. For me, it is Requiem. It could be between this movie, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. But if I had to choose one that I didn't want to watch, it would be this one. I would watch Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection over AVP Requiem. I'm sorry. So that would be hands down my least favorite. And I think it's the worst one. It's just a bad film. It's a bad film overall. So, all right, guys. That's pretty much it. The Facehugger Alien franchise tag by Sean Erschen. This was a lot of fun to do. And I'm going to be tagging some people to participate. Now, if you've never done a tag video, basically what it is, if someone tags you, you basically do the same thing that the person did before. So if I tag you, you basically have to answer the 13 questions that I answered, but with your own answers. So that's basically what you have to do. So I'm going to tag HorrorFan34, Alex 2.0, Chucky Doll, Julie Cassidy, Cody Ray, and Sean Blue Digital. So I'd love to hear your answers, guys, and see your videos. Again, Sean Erschen was the one who created this. If you haven't subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. He puts out some really good horror content and some really good videos. So anyway, thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back. See you in the next one.